All right, day one. We're out here at Sick Week. We actually got this thing completely turned around with drag wheels and stuff on it. It's looking super good. We made a slight tune change. The tune that was in it had the tire size for the street tires, and the street tires are like almost 30 inches, and then the race tires are like, what was it, like 27.8, like almost 28 inches. It's like a 2-inch difference, so it adjusts all the shift points down. We've already had a couple people come up and say like, hey man, spraying their glasses, is that a 2J? But obviously not a 2J. The ameri-barra, we're hoping to really make a splash here. 1320 was awesome. They took a picture of it, they posted it on their Facebook page. So we're hoping that, you know, best case scenario, we're gonna run a 10 today, but we're not gonna launch it. So we're gonna leave the line off idle and roll into it just to avoid trying to break anything right off the rip. And we don't know how it's gonna respond in terms of traction, right? Remember, the 6L80 has a very aggressive first gear. So the first gear, even with the factory 342 ratio, the starting line ratio is super aggressive. It's like 18-to-1. I don't know if that's exactly true, but I'm gonna put that in the video right here so you guys can see. Now the starting line ratio is like what your ratio is when you leave the line. We don't know like how it's gonna respond, and the front diff is obviously the weak point, but we're ready to make a pass. So let's get up there and hopefully let's make a splash. One and done, hit the road, get to Bradenton, and have a completely better year than last year. I know Scott's ready, I'm ready, let's roll. So you think you're cool when you're in a 6-cylinder Trailblazer that's all-wheel drive, and then pitted right next to you is Kyle Wade and the Boosty Boys in a 4-cylinder all-wheel drive minivan that'll walk you.
There's some fast SUVs out here.
Oh, you know. So trying to be different, but golly, this thing's massive. Look at that turbo. Good God. All right, first little issues popped up. We went out on the street and test hit on the new trans tune. This stuff here, this oil and stuff that you see, is really from the it's from the catch can. I kind of probably should have put it in a different spot because as it blows out, it's kind of blowing debris down. But anyway, the issue was we tore this boot and the grease had flung everywhere. So we wrapped it in Gorilla Tape. Shout out to Kyle over there. He gave us some Gorilla Tape to wrap it up with, and we got that fixed. The wastegate dump, because I don't have a tube, every time it opens it's kind of like burning on some stuff, so Scott went ahead and wrapped that. It was starting to eat through some of the ABS wiring, because the ABS wiring comes down here. Actually, there's a little bit of grease from the axle. But yeah, we got that done. It's probably going to melt some of it anyway, but it'll keep it more protected. But yeah, we're getting ready to put the wheel back on and get caught up into the lanes and make our first pass. Day one pass. Not the pass we wanted, but you know, kind of expected the first pass to be a little botched, just because you know, you never know what to expect on a whole new combo. But we went 12.6 at 121 miles an hour. Now, obviously, like, we were out of it for like a good bit, and it still went 121, which is really promising. So what happened was when it started to spin and I lifted and got back into it, it had already upshifted to third gear and it never downshifted back to second. So we ran in first, third, and fourth. So that being said, instead of like, if you look at the log, we went from 98% to 2% throttle. So instead of lifting all the way off the throttle, I am going to like just try to ease off if that happens again. But Jeremy is working on a revised tune, and he's going to see if we can leave in second gear. So if that works out, that would be phenomenal. We really think it's probably going to trap like 127, and if that's the case, we got a 10-second SUV on our hands, folks. So we're on our way to the first checkpoint now, Leadfoot City, and then once we get there, we'll check in, maybe get some food and stuff, and then off to the hotel. We did put a new belt on it, thanks to Calvin for figuring out that new routing. The thing no longer squeaks. It's like amazing, like so quiet, pristine. Super sick C5, TBM brakes all around. Parking next to us tonight. Well, we made it, boys. Made it. How about that? Day one complete. Couple issues, but nothing we haven't been able to overcome. We're gonna check into our hotel for the night, and then we'll be back at it first thing in the morning tomorrow. Day 2, C group runs first, so we're stoked. We're gonna get the track real early, swap over into race trim, clean some stuff up, and then hopefully we'll chop away at this 12.6. We know we can do better, so yeah, pretty pumped. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. Day 1, a wrap. We made it, how far? Like 300 plus miles today, and we made it past some test hits. Super awesome. So this thing's getting battle tested. We're putting it through its paces and proving that it can be done. So if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're subscribed, I really appreciate it. If you like the video and you're not subscribed, please consider. And we'll see you guys for day 2.